Today we're going to be talking about the unimaginable. We're going to talk about when your child dies. The world doesn't end, but yours does. We're talking about something that no parent should ever have to understand. The death of a son, the death of a daughter. And if you've experienced it, I am sorry, there are not words that can even... There's just no words. And if you've never experienced it, I hope you never do. Because there are some things in life that don't simply hurt. They permanently change who you are. People often ask grieving parents, does it ever get better? And I think that's the wrong question, because grief isn't something you cure. It isn't something you learned to carry. The problem is that our society treats grief like it's a sickness. And in some cases, you can grieve so hard you feel physically and mentally sick. But in the public, it's a little different. People expect you to cry, go through the funeral, take a few weeks off, and a lot of the times you do. But they expect you to somehow return to normal, and that is impossible. But here's the truth. There's no normal after your child dies. There's only before and after. I remember thinking everyone else's life just kept moving. People still laughed, and I was sitting there, I'm just numb. You become numb. It's like your whole existence, you're moving through the matrix. Everything's happening around you so fast, but you're just sitting still, like, wow, this is my new life. People are still arguing over politics. People still laugh. They still complain about traffic. They still celebrate birthdays. Meanwhile, my world, if you've experienced it, your world is completely stopped. It's the strangest feeling. It's almost become... You almost become angry that the sun keeps rising. How dare the birds sing? How dare people smile? Don't they know my child, your child's gone? One of the cruelest parts of grief is how invisible it becomes. Right after someone dies, everyone checks on you. People send flowers, meals, cards, messages. But then weeks turn into months, months turn into years. The phones get quieter. The invitations stop. People assume you're doing better because they don't see you crying anymore. What they don't realize is you've simply learned how to cry in private. There's no timeline for grief. I don't care what anybody says. Grief doesn't follow a calendar, it follows love. And the bigger the love, the bigger the grief, because grief is just simply love with nowhere to go. One thing I wish people understood is that grieving parents don't need you to fix us. Please stop trying. We don't need to be fixed even though we're broken. It's impossible. It's an impossible task to even try anyways. There's nothing you can say that will erase what happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, like love is awesome and support is awesome. Don't ever stop doing that. Just know that when you come to the broken who have lost a child, just be present, just be there, just be a warm body that is a placeholder for love. You know what I mean? So when I say stop trying, I don't mean stop trying in the sense of, you know, like don't be present in that person's life. I'm just saying there's nothing you can say that will erase the pain. And you don't have to solve our pain. It's not your burden to bear. You just have to be willing to set in it with us. Be sad with us. Sometimes the most healing words are simply, I'm here. That's it. No speeches, no cliches, no they're in a better place. No, everything happens for a reason. Ugh. Unless you're prepared to tell that person what the reason is, just don't. Like, I definitely believe in synchronicities but you never know why a loved one or child was taken. So you really can't say everything happens for a reason unless you really know, well, what is that reason? You know, and don't say that they're in a better place. I mean, that's probably true. And God, I hope they are. Because life on earth is complete hell without them. So that's my prayer every day, is definitely can't get no worse than earth. So I really hope that they are indeed in a better place and have leveled up on so many aspects. Don't say God needed another angel, because he has lots. I mean, that's just kind of a stupid comment anyways, because like we all die, so, and we're all his angels anyway. We're just in our meat suit right now, so but even if your intentions are good, you know, just sometimes the words often hurt more than they help. They can just land funny, especially after you lose a child. Every word is like salt on a wound. It's like you're walking around without skin. Your skin suit, and you're just raw meat, and even the wind hurts, you know? And another thing that people talk about is survival guilt. Like, that's the what ifs, the should haves, the could haves, the what if I called, what if I stayed home, what if I noticed sooner, what if. Your brain becomes a detective trying to solve a crime that can never be undone. And that cycle can become in itself torture. I know that when I lost my child, I became my own FBI agent, and I left no stone unturned, and at the end of the day, I don't know what it gave me. It didn't give me peace, and it didn't give me answers. At the moment, I think it was just something for my brain to do because it needed to process the unthinkable. Plus, I don't think the people that were involved in my daughter's case actually even helped. So, that's another story for another time. As someone with a background in psychology, I can tell you our brains are built to search for control. When something completely outside our control happens, our brain invents scenarios where maybe, just maybe, we could have changed the outcome. Not because those scenarios are true necessarily. Um, Especially in situations like mine. But because believing we had control somehow feels safer than accepting we never did. Um, Grief also changes relationships. Some marriages survive, some don't. Friendships disappear. Family members say incredibly hurtful things. Oh, incredibly rude, ignorant. Not every family, just the really toxic, dysfunctional ones, which, raise your hand if that applies to you. I have a super, extremely toxic, dysfunctional family. Very cruel people. Um, but sometimes it's not because they're bad people, but sometimes they just simply don't know what to do or don't know what to say. Pain makes people extremely uncomfortable, and sometimes uncomfortable people disappear. There are days, even years later, when one tiny thing brings everything flooding back: a song, a birthday, a favorite restaurant, a sweatshirt, a smell, a random memory. And suddenly you're standing in the grocery store trying not to completely fall apart. That's, you know, normal, the new normal if you've lost a child. That's love. There's so many weird, awkward places that I've cried that you'd never. Sorry, my nose itches. Um, like eating in a restaurant. Just just random weird places. Like I cried at the gym because that's where me and my daughter used to go all the time together. And so I was sitting there doing reps and lifts and uh yeah, places like that just don't, they're not the same anymore. They're places of just pain. Uh you know, but one thing that surprised, well, it didn't really surprise me, but you feel there, you're gonna have your good days and you're gonna have your bad days. And when you have your good days and you know it'll make you feel guilty. Have you ever noticed that when you laugh and then you sit there and think, wait, should I be laughing? um you enjoy a vacation and then suddenly you feel guilty for smiling, as if happiness somehow means you've forgotten them, but it doesn't. um you know if you read my book, my daughter drew this beautiful picture and it says that grief and joy can hold hands. And she drew that before she passed away, and it's just weird to look at it now, like uh yeah, you know that both things can exist at the same time. You can be incredibly miserable and happy at the same time, and be thankful if you've never experienced that feeling. you know like I try to live and be present and be happy for my family that I still have, while inside my mind and my heart knowing the whole time I'm in complete utter pain. You have to, build yourself from the ground back up and become an entirely different person, which sucks because, you know, For me, the best parts of my life are my children, and when one of them goes missing, it's like, okay, uh, now what? Like, who the hell am I? Like, okay, I gotta. But you carry that person with you while trying to rebuild this version of your life and yourself you no longer even know in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. But if you're listening today and if you've lost a child, I need you to hear something. You are not grieving wrong. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. You know, they have all these books on how to be a parent, how to be a mom, and all these things. But they never give you books on, oh, but just in case they pass away, here's a rule book on this too. It's like, because that's not supposed to happen. But you're not taking too long, you're not weak, you're not broken, you're grieving exactly as someone who loved deeply would grieve. There isn't a correct way to miss your child. Some people visit a cemetery every week, some can't go at all. Some keep the bedroom exactly the same, others pack everything away. Some people don't have a choice. Like, I wanted to keep my daughter's room exactly the way that it was, just, I don't know, just 'cause, you know, and I didn't have a choice because we had to move. And I hated that we had to move. Some people talk about their child every day, others stay silent. Like, my family, we talk about her, we share stories, but at the same time we don't talk about her. Because it's like ripping open a wound. I've had people think that it was just weird. You know, like, I'll share that story another time, but it just goes back to like cold-hearted family that think they're entitled to your grief. Nobody's entitled to your grief. That's personal, you know, and you have to do what feels right for you, you know. Love isn't measured by how loudly you grieve, you know. One of the biggest myths about grief is closure. You don't have to believe in closure. I don't believe in closure. How do you close something that was never supposed to end? Parents aren't designed to bury their children. We're designed to watch them grow, to watch them graduate, to get married, become parents themselves. When that future disappears, you don't get closure. You learn how to live beside the unimaginable loss. People often ask me, you know, what helped. Honestly, nothing took the pain away. Nothing is going to take the pain away, but some things made carrying it easier. Knowing that I had to be strong for my other children was one of the things that they keep me going, because I want to not only give them my love, but the love that she was supposed to still give them if she was still here. That's my gift to her, is loving her siblings better. Doing better every day, being better every day, loving harder every day. But talking helps, turning your pain into purpose, like what I'm doing now with my YouTube channel and everything, you know, hoping that it helps somebody else who's loved and lost, and learning about grief. I don't know if that really helped me, because if you're experiencing it, you're already an expert, they say, by 2 years anyways. I read books about grief and they really didn't help me. They just made me feel like more like shit. I don't know why, they just did. Allowing myself to cry without apologizing. I don't cry, I scream. I've got like this never-ending scream inside my soul. It's like ever since my child died, my soul is inside my body trying to claw its way out. But you know, given my pain purpose, writing books, that's like me keeping her spirit alive through each chapter of my life, even though she's not here to continue her chapters of her own life. She'll still get to be a part of somebody's life. But that's one of the reasons I continue creating these videos. Because even if one grieving parent watches or listens to this and feels less alone, heard, then something beautiful came from the unimaginable pain I feel. But if you know someone who's grieving, don't disappear. Don't wait for them to ask for help. Call them 6 months later. Just drop a funny DM in their box and just, you know, don't continue like nothing happened, you know, just I've had some really good friends and people in my life. You know, one girl in particular who's a really good friend, my neighbor, she drops in my DMs every once in a while and says, just so you know, I'm here if you want to talk, and I'm always a phone call away. Like, just, and she's never said anything wrong. Like, to this day, she's never said anything that's made me cringe, or just, she's just one of them true people that not often are you blessed with, but I was blessed with, so I'm really thankful, even though I'm one of those friends that don't reach out as much as I should or talk as much as I should. I'm just an introvert and kind of climbed into a hole after my child died. People are cringy, so I'd rather just stay away from most of them. A lot of people self-isolate when their child dies, so it's just easier than having to explain their story over and over and why they're numb. But you know, remember birthdays, remember anniversaries. You know, I've had people share memories with me about my child. That's helpful. I love hearing about them. Say their child's name, and you know, trust me, parents are never offended when somebody remembers their child. We're terrified that they're going to be forgotten, like, I don't know. And finally, I want to leave you with this thought. Grief is the price we pay for extraordinary love. If love leaves fingerprints on our hearts, then grief is simply the imprint that's left behind. It hurts because it mattered. It hurts because they mattered. And that love doesn't just end because a life does. But thank you for spending this time with me today. If this conversation helped you in any way, or if you've experienced loss of a child, or you'd like to honor them, tell me their name in the comments. Like, you don't have to share anything personal, but share their name. Tell me about their life. Tell me about who they were as a person, their beautiful smiles, their bubbly personalities, their little quirky habits, because they deserve to be remembered and talked about. And as long as someone speaks their name, a part of them will always still be touching this world. Take care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed my podcast. Until we meet again, I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.